Let me tell you a little story. Moshe, a tailor from Warsaw in the 1800s, worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. On Shabbat, he didn't even thread a needle. Not because he didn't need the money. He did. His family lived in a one-room apartment. But there's something deeper, something wired into our bones for generations. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about rhythm. It's about long-term thinking. And it's about not becoming a slave to your own ambition. So, how do Jews, often stereotyped, fairly or unfairly, as good with money, actually think about building wealth? And more importantly, how do we do it without losing our minds, our families, or our dignity? It's not magic. It's not luck. And it's definitely not about grinding 24/7 until your eyeballs fall out. It's wisdom, ancient, tested, and surprisingly relevant, even if you're not Jewish. Let me break it down for you. The first thing you need to know is this. Jews don't rush money. We like money, yes, but we don't chase it like it's the last bus of the night. From the Torah to Talmud to your Uncle Shlomo who owns 3 bakeries and still drives a 1997 Toyota Corolla, the message is clear. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Building wealth isn't a sprint. It's a garden. And you know what happens when you water a garden every hour? You drown it. So what do we do instead? We think long-term. Very long-term. We're talking plant a tree so your grandchildren can sit in the shade long. Let me give you an example. My cousin Ari, nice guy, bit neurotic, started investing at 22. Not in crypto, not in NFTs, but boring old dividend stocks and some real estate. By 40, he wasn't a millionaire on paper. He was a father of 3, with time to actually be a dad. His strategy? Live modestly, automate savings, and never ever check the stock market before coffee. It's not sexy, but it works. Why? Because it respects the idea of Shabbat, even in money. Once a week, we stop, we unplug, we remember. We are not defined by what we produce. That mindset leaks into our finances. It tells us, slow down. Don't trade every dip. Don't panic every time Jerome Powell sneezes. Wealth that lasts is built in rhythm, with patience, with intention. Here's a spicy little truth. Jews don't worship money. We respect it. We study it. We use it wisely. But we don't confuse our bank account with our self-worth. There's a Hebrew term, parnassah. It means livelihood, not hustle, not empire. Livelihood. It's about what sustains you, not what inflates your ego. You see, in Jewish culture, a rich man who gives little is not admired. A modest man who gives generously is a mensch. Let's take Esther, fictional woman, but real vibe. Owns a fabric shop in Brooklyn. She's not flashy. She knows every customer's name, helps new immigrants find jobs, and never brags. People call her wealthy, not because of her net worth, but because she gives, she builds, she contributes. That's the key. Wealth, in our tradition, isn't about stacking gold like a dragon in a cave. It's about creating options, stability, the ability to say no to things that don't align with your values. Ever met someone who's technically rich but always stressed, always chasing, always scared? That's not wealth. That's golden handcuffs with a leather interior. When you see money as a tool, not a trophy, your entire relationship with work changes. You no longer need to win every negotiation. You don't have to buy every upgrade. You can rest, breathe, give. And giving, my friend, is its own form of wealth. This is a big one. In the Jewish world, we don't really believe in self-made. You might start something on your own, but if it survives, it's because someone helped you, gave you a loan, sent you customers, let you sleep on their couch in 2008 when everything collapsed. Let me tell you about Benny. Benny owns a small chain of kosher delis. He didn't get there alone. His uncle fronted him the money for his first shop. His cousin did the graphic design. His synagogue became his first customer base. And in return, Benny hires within the community. He gives discounts to the elderly. He donates food after events. That's not just kindness. That's economics. Because in a real community, everyone's success becomes mutual. It's a kind of informal insurance. A safety net made of people instead of paperwork. In fact, traditional Jewish communities had something called a gemach. It's a free loan society. You need $1,000 for rent? You borrow. No interest. Just pay it back when you can. Imagine that today. Not only does it reduce stress, it keeps wealth circulating. It builds trust. And trust, my friend, compounds faster than any investment fund. So when we talk about building wealth, remember, it's not just spreadsheets. It's relationships. It's reciprocity. It's showing up at someone's funeral, not just their product launch. Here's a Jewish joke. Two men are arguing in a synagogue. One says, "We should buy a new Torah scroll." The other says, "We should fix the roof." The rabbi listens and says, "First, let's buy books to learn how to fix the roof." That's us. Before we jump, we learn. In Jewish homes, education isn't optional. It's sacred. From Talmudic debates to modern law school marathons, we believe deeply that understanding precedes action. Why does that matter for wealth? Because ignorance is expensive. Not knowing how taxes work? That'll cost you. Not reading your lease before signing? Good luck. Not understanding compound interest? Well, you might as well light your paycheck on fire. But here's the twist. Jewish learning isn't just about books. It's about asking questions. Tons of questions. Obnoxious amounts of questions. Why did you invest there? What's the downside? How do you know this works? Where's the proof? Who benefits? It's not skepticism. It's curiosity with a seatbelt. So when Jews build wealth, they don't just copy trends. They study them. They argue about them over dinner. They test them in small doses. And only when the understanding is deep do they go big. You don't have to go to yeshiva to adopt this mindset. You just have to be humble enough to admit what you don't know, and hungry enough to learn. Now, this is maybe the biggest difference between Jewish wealth building and the mainstream hustle culture. We have limits. Hard ones. Shabbat, for example, is a full stop. From Friday sunset to Saturday night, traditional Jews don't work, don't drive, don't transact, don't even turn on the oven sometimes. It sounds extreme, right? But here's the thing. It's not about restrictions. It's about protection. It protects your time, your sanity, your family, your soul. When the world says, grind harder, we say, pause. When the market screams, buy now, we say, talk to me Sunday. That boundary is sacred, and guess what? It makes us more productive, not less. Because rest sharpens the blade. It gives your mind space to think long-term, to reconnect with your purpose, to remember why you started working in the first place. And when you come back on Sunday, you're clearer, you're calmer, you're not chasing, you're choosing. That's the difference. And honestly, that one ritual alone might be more valuable than any stock tip, because burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. And in our tradition, ignoring warning signs isn't brave. It's foolish. So instead, we rest, we celebrate, we light candles, we eat too much challah, and in doing so, we protect the most important asset of all, our peace. So, that's how Jews build wealth without burning out. We think in decades, not in quarters. We treat money as a tool, not a god. We lean on community, not competition. We learn deeply before risking widely. And above all, we rest with intention. You don't have to be Jewish to take value from this. You just have to be willing to reframe the way you think about money and success. It's not about being richer. It's about being wiser. And wisdom, like wealth, grows best when shared. So tell me in the comments, which part made you stop and think? Hit the like button so I know you're enjoying this kind of content, and subscribe because trust me, the next video dives even deeper into the secrets most people overlook completely. You're gonna love it. See you soon.